Secretary of State Rex Tillerson briefed Congress on the presidential determination on Wednesday, a process that's required by law. Senior administration officials told reporters that the Department of Homeland Security is simultaneously working to enhance the vetting and screening procedures used in the refugee resettlement process, as prescribed by Trump in his various travel bans. Administration officials said they plan to process as many refugees as they can under the ceiling, although they did note that in years past the quota hasn't always been met. Yet the Department of Homeland Security requested a 40,000 quota. The agency is already facing a backlog of asylum requests, Politico reported, and would therefore have a hard time handling 50,000 people. Senior officials noted on the call Wednesday that some of the refugee resettlement program's resources need to be devoted to this backlog going forward. A group of top administration members led by Stephen Miller, Trump's senior policy advisor, allegedly wanted to see a quota no higher than 15,000, according to the New York Times. Trump has signed 2 executive orders establishing a travel ban on citizens from several Muslim-majority countries. The orders also halted the refugee resettlement program for 120 days and brought the annual resettlement quota down to 50,000. Chaos ensued, upending the plans of tens of thousands of vulnerable people either waiting to travel to the U.S. or undergoing the 2-year-long resettlement process. 1 week later, they called me and said that all of the pre-screening USCIS interviews have been cancelled, Mohammed told HuffPost. We can call them to follow up, but whenever we call them, they tell us that our security checks are ongoing but have no new information. USCIS contacted Mohammed this summer and rescheduled his interview, but then cancelled it again on August 4. He says he hasn't received word since. Former President Barack Obama had raised the refugee quota from 70,000 to 85,000 in fiscal year 2016 and then to 110,000 for 2017. The ceiling has never gone below 67,000 in the almost 40 years that the refugee admissions program has existed in the U.S. Policy experts criticized Trump's decision. Historically, we have been a leader in resettling refugees, and we do that for humanitarian reasons, national security reasons, global security reasons, Melanie Nezer, Vice President of Public Affairs at HIAS, the Jewish Refugee Resettlement Agency, said Monday on a call to reporters. Since 1980, the U.S. has resettled about 3 million refugees. Claims that refugees are a security threat have been thoroughly debunked, many advocates reiterated. If you enter the U.S. on an international flight from anywhere in the world and there's a refugee family or individual on that aircraft, that individual is the most thoroughly vetted individual on that aircraft, added Michael Breen, President and CEO of the Truman National Security Project.